How many faux pas did you spot just now? The answer should be 6. Hi, I'm Emmy, and I'm a serial, unrefined eater. Today I wanted to address the less obvious faux pas. None of that don't stick your chopsticks in the rice straight up stuff. We're talking about a little more minor, but still a dead giveaway to a full-bred Japanese person. Also, even foreigners who have lived in Japan for a long time, or I guess more international Japanese people, also I've noticed make these mistakes. So stick around if you don't want to offend your Japanese dining partners. Jokes aside, I've always considered myself somewhat cultured, not exactly like super versed, but passable. However, living in Japan is a whole other story. There's pitfalls everywhere. By the way, if you screw up in Japan on dining etiquette and look like a foreigner, they'll just assume you're a foreigner, which maybe is fine. And if you look Asian, they will think you're stupid, which does this also mean that they think foreigners are just automatically stupid? I don't know, but both are bad looks. So I think I felt a little bit self-conscious and wanted to stop making excuses for myself. So I set out to study and master as much as I could possible, although I'm still not perfect. So a couple of things I accumulated I wanted to share here, and yeah, just keep watching to learn some tips. So first, the how. And I'm going to do these faux pas in the order of how one would eat. So before you eat, you want to clean your hands with Oshibori. Usually it'll be a moist towel that's rolled up, or one of these kind of one-time use towels that you throw away later. What you do is, if it's a towel, you unfold it, wipe your hands, fold it back, and place it back on the tray. And if it's a paper one, you just, pull it out, unfold it, wipe your hands, and then fold it back up, and voila. So the faux pas. Do not use this on your face or your neck. It's gross, and a lot of oji-san do it, but it is definitely not recommended and absolutely against dining etiquette rules. The obvious one next is always start with saying Itadakimasu with your hands together, so as to show gratitude for the meal. Next, you want to move on to miso soup. And by the way, you're going to probably want to reuse this later, so don't throw it away or do anything to it. So the miso soup. Do not slurp. Obviously, they say it's good to slurp noodles, and that's an exception for noodles, but do not slurp anything else, so just, eat your miso normally. Also, you might have a communal dish, something that everyone kind of eats together on a larger plate. This is just for example purposes. From the communal dish, when you're moving it to a small side dish that you might have on hand, which I currently don't, so we're going to pretend this is an empty plate, but I would not use this end of the chopsticks, but the end that you have not put your mouth on. Make sure to use this and move it to your plate, like so. Next, do not soak your sushi in soy sauce. Do not over-apply condiments in general, because this is disrespectful to the chef, like so. Just add a little bit of soy sauce. And then, look, I've only put a little bit, just a dot, basically. And again, do not soak, just lightly dip and eat. Oh, hey, can you get that for me? Never point at someone with chopsticks. Although I think that's kind of obvious, but still, just in case. Next, your chopsticks, where to put them, right? When you're not eating, don't rest them on a bowl. Don't cross your chopsticks on anything. Use the chopstick rest. And if you don't have one, either make one out of the paper provided, or use maybe a small dish to rest the chopsticks on. Okay, so from here, it gets tricky. A lot of unintended issues happen with drinks. So first, let others pour your drink and pour drinks for others. So, お入れしますね。ありがとうございます。じゃあ私も。So yeah, something like that. Next, don't drink until the highest ranked person, usually the eldest, drinks. Don't just start downing your stuff. Be polite, wait for everyone else. When in doubt, just wait for everyone else. The third one, this is the one I catch the most with foreigners that even the ones who have lived here a long time don't really seem to realize, is this. you're supposed to kanpai with a glass slightly under their glass. See what I mean? So they are on top, I guess. I have no idea what it signals, but you should toast with your glass lower. In fact, even if they aren't higher ranking than you, it's nice to do this as a sign of appreciation, and people will try to like pull their glass lower. Ridiculous, but also kind of a fun game at the same time, depending on your perspective. So, last one. Do not toast with water. Do not say with your water glass, hey, kanpai, because that signifies something like related to dead people. So, no, let's not do that. Another thing, make sure to finish all of the food in your rice bowl and your plate to show your appreciation. This is especially true for the rice bowl. Do not leave even a single grain of rice. Okay, I had to change up my audio because I think it was getting weird, but anyway, even though you're supposed to finish your plate and your bowl, there's a different story for the communal plate. So you're supposed to leave the last piece of food on the communal plate. It's called enryo no katamari. It's basically like making sure that you don't take the last piece when someone else might have wanted it. So tricky, but next. So once you're done eating all of the dishes, or majority of your dishes, do not, I repeat, do not stack plates. Also, do not stack any garbage or wrappers on any of the plates, because this is a sign of disrespect, and it originates from the implication that the staff cannot do their job. Although not many Japanese people know that as well. Also, I see this all the time, but do not speak too loudly and make a ruckus, because I see this especially with tourists, but even Japanese people as well. If you are really loud in a dining situation, it's going to make everyone else feel uncomfortable and you'll get a lot of bad looks. One more thing is, I do this all the time, so I'm very guilty, but don't rest your elbows on the table. And of course, as always, end with Gochisosamadeshita with your hands together. Cool. Okay, now let's put it into practice. So, kanpai!
今日頑張ったよね。
頑張った。いただきます。自宅で家族に見守られながら息をしていたと言いましたが、その後脳卒中で倒れ、公の場に現れる機会が少なくなっていました。5歳と7歳の女の子2人が死亡しました。片側1車線の緩やかなカーブで、警察が事故が起きた状況を詳しく調べています。
100万ボルトらしいからほぼテスラと同じぐらいの機械です。いやまあ実験動物ではあるけどかなり残酷なことしてるよね。しかも今までと同様数十秒後に50キロも離れたシンシティの郊外である